What's up, YouTube? Fallen Psycho 2 here, coming at you with my first place Yu-Gi-Oh! Day deck profile for Sylvan's. I feel this is a very good deck, this format, and it's what I decided to play, and I got first place with it, and won the Merrick Winged Dragon of Ra mat thing. Not sure if I'm going to sell it or keep it, whatever, but it's a nice mat. So, let's get into the deck profile. 3 Hermtree. Probably one of the better cards right now. Draw power, excavates, makes rank 8s. Rank 8s are a very good toolbox. Felgrand for effect negation. Heliopolis, non-targeting removal, which is really good with Soul Charge to help clear their board. And Alsei, who serves to semi-yodel lock them. So these guys are really good. I definitely think 3 is the optimal number. 3 Sage Yugioh. More Majestic Seize power, beat stick. Can summon him when you excavate. I summoned him when I made Curry Bandit play to make sure my opponent couldn't push me for game. And just sat on him. My opponent, I think, in the end, 101'd him. But it's all good. Like, he's synchro fodder, works well as Spore, overlays well with each other, and just helps out a lot. 2 Princess Sprout. I may want to bump her up to 3. She's really good just because of her effect to match levels, help thin out the deck, and just helps a lot. Other Sylvans, Chukomushumo, backer removal. I felt 2 is better than 3 because you don't really want to draw this guy. Yeah. These guys are basically like your 8-card Xyz engine, and these guys are like removal. You also place Martial Leaf for removal. Yugiohs were a thing that I was semi-worried about that Martial Leaf took care of. Also, Martial Leaf just helped get rid of a lot of cards. Like, if my opponent puts out Fossil Dyna, it's really difficult to deal with. So, Martial Leaf helps with that. And just helps. Like, it's also a normal summon, 1500, if you really need to get an Excavate off. So, it helps the deck a lot. I feel 1 is good. I definitely would never play more than 1. But, I do feel 1 is good. And for the last Sylvan monster, I played this guy. I really don't know how I feel about him. He got side out a lot. But mainly what I use him for is summoning out Spore. Or, say I have 2 of these guys out off like a Soul Charge play. And I mount Sylvania. I'll stack him so I can excavate with him, get a draw, summon Princess Sprout with him. Princess Sprout will get an excavate and put herself to top, and he'll give me another draw. So it just helps with more draw power, which I thought was pretty cool. He's kind of a dead draw though, so I don't know what I'll do with him in the future. Those were basically all the Sylvans I played. I played 12 Sylvans. I don't know what most builds are playing right now, but I felt that was the right number. Other monsters in the deck for plants, 2 Lonefire. This card's broken. Summon itself, tribute, summon another, tribute, summon Hermtree, Soul Charge game. Like, it's dumb. Just creates too many stupid things. Spore helps a lot. Like, Spore plus Sage Yugioh equals a rank 8 plus blowing something up. Or just, like, a level 8 Synchro plus having Spore in your grave for backup later on. 2 Curry Bandit. These guys are good. Having this guy first turn is really strong, so I almost want to bump him up to 3, but he's really weak late game. So I think 2 is a good number. But I don't know. He's, like, really strong. Basically, you hit a spell, you get the spell. Any other Sylvan you excavate is a +1. So he can potentially go, like, +4, which is really nice, actually. 2 Rose Archer. Veiler for traps while I control plant. Definitely a good card. Won me a lot of stuff. 2 Veilers. Literally just Veiler. Negates my opponent's effects, protects my monsters, helps out. And then 1 Blaster. Blaster is really good. It serves as 2 level 7s when I'm making a soul charge play. Serves as removal. Serves as a way to get Hermitry into Graveyard, which you want your Hermitries engraved so that you can soul charge them back, or Miracle Fertilizer them back. What you don't want is to have them in hand. So Blaster really helps with that too. It's also just like a recurring 7 in a deck that plays a lot of fires. So I played 10 non-Sylvans, 22 monsters in total. It's kind of high monster count. Again, more than I'm used to, just like Boojins, but it works. I've been liking these high monster count decks. Spells, 3 Charity, of course. You need to play 3 Charity. It just draw power, draw power, draw power, set up for more stuff, and just wins games. 3 Miracle Fertilizer. Summon anything back from grave. Recycle it with Araya, make more summons. Just really dumb. If you get multiples out, like, who needs a normal summon when you get to use multiple Monster Reborns per turn? So that's good. 2 Mount Sylvania and 1 Terraforming. I know some people have done 2 and 2. I didn't want to play 2 Terraformings, well, an equal amount of Terraformings to Sylvanias, because if I drew Sylvania before it, a Terraforming dies. So I felt this was the best number. 3 Sylvania I felt could be good, but I like the 2 and 1 better, because you're essentially playing 3 ways to get to it, but less ways for it to clog. Like, you draw these 2. You're not going to top deck this later on. You're just going to terraforming it out and sit on that for a while. So I felt like that was the right ratio of those. Now the best card, Soul Charge. This deck uses Soul Charge better than any other deck in the game. I'm fairly certain at this point. Curry Bandit's a 1-card Soul Charge set. Lone Fire's a 1-card Soul Charge setup. There was one time where I was losing to my friend playing Boojins, and I just top decked Soul Charge. I'm just like, okay, game. Just broke his field. Summoned out Felgrand plus everything, and I'll say to Yada lock him, and he just lost from there. Foolish Burial sets up your Soul Charge plays. Also can trigger Sage of Quiet for the extra summon. And 3 Upstart Goblin. This card's actually pretty solid, because you can, again, stack Charity with Mount, Upstart into Charity. Charity for 2 cards. Charity, stack 2 cards, get 1 back with Upstart. And I just feel like this card helps this deck a lot. Like, you shouldn't be randomly excavating, so it doesn't hurt that much, but it definitely helps. And those were my spells. I played 16 spells, I think. To round out the deck, 2 Emptiness. Sylvans are good with Floodgates, as I learned from watching Hoban's deck profile. I felt 3 would be too cloggy, though, plus Mandy's kind of shuts you down too. Granted, it's easy to get rid of with the right setup, but I felt 2 was the right number. So that was the main deck, 40 cards. And yeah, onto the extra deck. I did not actually have everything I needed for this, so I was kind of worried about playing this deck. I almost switched to Boojins at the last minute, but I'm like, you know what, screw it. We're gonna play Sylvans, non-completed, and we're gonna top. So Synchro's Star Eater. I didn't actually bring him out. He was just there in case I wanted, like, a rank 5 play, in case my opponent had, like, 5 back row, and I just wanted to swing and I didn't have access to a Felgrand, or even, like, if I did, he would be good because he dodges Blackhorn. Never made him, though. 1 Leo, made him a couple times. He's just a really good defensive card. Scrap Dragon, removal, rank 8 fodder, all around a really good card. He's probably the synchro I've made the most today. Stardust, made him just if I needed, like, protection, or I'd make my play, then overlay him in later. And Stardust Spark to protect Emptiness if I had an Emptiness that I would want to protect. I played 5 synchros. I felt it was enough. Rank 8, 2 All-Say, the Yarlock boss dude. He's also really good because he can just grab stuff off the top of your deck if you know it's there. Played 1 Felgrand, wanted to play 2, only owned 1, so went with 1. Heliopolis, non-targeting removal, really good. I played Dragluon. I never brought this guy out, but I didn't have the second Felgrand, so I just threw this guy in. Like, if I play dragons, I guess he can do something versus them. He's also a good beat stick. I guess I'll just throw him in there. Didn't bring him out, though. Just kind of there. Ranks. I played 5 rank 8s. Rank 7s, 2 Oreo. Brought her out a few times. I don't think I ever brought out 2 in the same duel. But I didn't have Dracosack or Big Eye, so I decided to play 2 Aurea and a Master of Blades instead. Yeah, again, didn't have everything I needed, but it worked out fine. Master of Blades works good enough for protection, because I faced a lot of Boojins today, so Dracosack isn't good versus Boojins, because they can just Susanoo kill it in one shot. Master of Blades basically forces them to burn a crane to get rid of it, because they can't target it or they'll cry. Didn't really bring him out much, but I did bring him out, and when he did, he was good. 3 rank 7s. And I played 2 rank 3s. I played Alucard, brought him out a few times, just because, like, remove the armor if I had already cleared all their back row, clear back row, generic helpful stuff. And 1 Mech-Whipped Engineer, just more protection when I soul charge. That was the 15 card extra deck. Onto the side deck, I played 2 Maxi. I don't think I sided him in game 2 versus Yugioh, instantly sided him out game 3 because I realized Yugioh can just stop. So he's really not very good versus them. And, oh, I sided him in for Samurais. Yeah. 2 DD Crow, good in a lot of matchups, decent in the mirror. It beats Dragon Rulers, Light Sworns, and just helps a lot. Oh, Boojins. This guy, Boojins, Light Sworns, kind of artifacts, not really, but he is a good card. And yeah, I played 5 monsters. I'm not sure how I felt about the high monster count. It worked out fine because I never brought in the DD Crows, but yeah. Spells, 3 MST. People like to try and floodgate Sylvans. I say no. It's difficult to floodgate Sylvans too, because like even if you stop the graveyard effects, it's like, okay, big deal. Now I just have a ton of giant beat sticks on board. Like, what are you gonna do then? And yeah. But the MSTs also were good to, like, get rid of back row. And 1 Soul Release won me a game versus Boojins. Really good card. 4 spells. Traps. 2 Line Imprisoning. Not a big fan of Floodgates. Sylvans can basically search Floodgates, though, so they're much better in this build. 2 Iron Wall. This card hasn't seen play since Dragon Ruler format. But the way I see this format, it stops Madolches, it stops Infernity, it stops Dragon Rulers, it somewhat stops Light Sworns, and I felt it was basically the next best floodgate I could add in after remembering everything else that I had put in. So, threw this in, didn't draw in, actually, I think I drew it once versus Boojins, didn't do much, but it helped. Yeah. And 2 Rivalry of Warlords, Madolche. Anything else that... Oh, Infernity it's actually pretty good against. But, yeah. And that's the main deck. No, that's the side deck. 15 cards. Normally I wouldn't floodgate so heavily, but Sylvans are slightly different with floodgates due to their array effect to search. So that was the deck. I'll do a quick rundown of the rounds. Round 1 I faced Boojins. 2-1'd him. It was a really awful build. made me sad because I lost game 2 to Ophidian. If you don't know what it does, you could look it up, but I wouldn't bother because only bad players are going to run it, so you shouldn't lose those matchups anyway. It was just bizarre, and I lost to that. But I won the match anyway, so it's not a big deal. Round 2, I faced a friend of mine who was playing Boojins, and 2-0'd him, and that was fun. Round 3, faced Yugioh, 2-1'd him. I sacked him with Marshall Leaf games 1 and 3, just out of nowhere. I didn't stack it at all, and I would just blow him up. I'd excavate the Marshall Leaf randomly, blow up his armor, and ruin his day. So that was helpful. Game 1, I just basically summoned Curry Bandit and passed. I excavated Marshall Leaf, Spore, Sage Yugioh, Miracle Fertilizer, and Charity. No, and Mount Sylvania. So I'm just okay, blow up the armor, add Fertilizer with Bandit, and add Mount with Sage Yugioh. Now cry. Then I emptinessed his Yugioh effect, and then he basically lost. So that was that. That was probably my hardest matchup of the day. Round 3, I faced Samurais. I keep facing this guy. I keep 2-0'ing him. Don't play Samurais, people. You're not gonna do well. Then, top 4, I faced Samurai player again in top 4. 2-0'd him again. Then finals, I faced my friend playing Boojins again, 2-0'd him again, top deck Soul Charge 1 game and won. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry it's kind of long. Peace out, Phone Psycho 2, signing